In Linux, should we need to send signals to a process, we can use the kill command. So let's go through now to our CentOS 7 console and take a look at this destructive command. So things may appear just a little bit different at the moment as I've opened up two windows. So in the left-hand window, I'm logged on as we were before as the user Tux, but I've just created a new connection in the right-hand window. And we can see that process ID is 8558. We're just going to be working in the left-hand window at the moment, but we'll keep the right-hand window open. We can send signals through to processes, and often we're used to sending signals. We've got things like the Control-C, which often we use to send an interrupt or to stop that process running. If we want to check some of the signals, we can use STTY and -A, and we can then go through and start seeing, well, things like the Control-C, we can see there interrupt equals Control-C, end of file equals Control-D. So we can start seeing some of the signals that we can use shortcuts to. We'll also see later on that we can suspend processes with Control and Z. We're going to see that when we start looking at backgrounding processes. I'm just going to clear out of the screen at the moment. With that cleared out, if we want to send other signals other than we can send through our keyboard shortcuts, we can use the kill command. If I use kill -L, we'll get a listing of all of the signals that I can send, and there are quite a few. For the moment, let's just go through and expand this window. I think it will probably show a little bit better, so let's go through here and we'll just go through and run kill -L again. There we go, that shows a little bit better, doesn't it? So we can see some of the signals that we can send, and we can send by the number, we can send via the long word such as sigterm or sigkill, or we can use the short word, just leave out the sig. So we can use term or kill. Well, let's look at it in usage. So let's clear out this screen and then let's minimize this back down. Now as well, the thing to note, especially with that kill -L, we have to be very careful that just because we can send all of those signals, it doesn't mean our application will respond to those signals. To see what I mean about this, if I then use kill, and we can use then 8537, we can check in the other window and actually see that 8537 is the bash process. Now when we then go through and send our signal, nothing happens. Well, it just happens to be the bash shell within a CentOS environment hasn't been written to respond to a terminate, and what I'm actually doing is a sig -15 or a sig -term. All of these are equivalent, as is sig term. And of course it's not responding to any of those because the default signal that we send from kill is a terminate, if you like, asking it nicely to close down. Well, if we've got an application that isn't responding to a terminate request, then we might have to be a little bit more brutal with it. So we could use then sig -9, sig -kill, or sigkill, and as before, all of these are going to be equivalent. So -9, -kill, and -sigkill. As a standard user, the only processes that I can manage are my own processes, and we can see, boof, it's gone. This is an X process. This process no longer exists. Let's expand this up. We can take up all of the bed now. We've killed our partner. No, don't take that as literal at home. There was no terminal that was hurt or injured during the making of this demonstration. But we can see then that we can send a stronger signal if we need, such as the -9, which is really going down to the root of the problem within the proc directory and removing the process directory. If the process directory doesn't exist, well then the process doesn't exist. but it is of course a very abrupt way to end a process, and it's not tidied up nicely. As far as a bash shell is concerned, well, we're not doing a proper log out, so we're not synchronizing our bash history back through to our history files. So that's going to be the main thing we would notice from killing off a bash shell. But this becomes a way that we can kill off processes. Perhaps users have left themselves logged on and we need to kill their processes so we can manage something else. The default signal, as we saw, was sending the signal 15 or the terminate. But if we want something stronger, then we can go through and run the process with, or the kill the process with -9. To really kill it. Well, now we've looked at our death and destruction, let's move on a little bit and look at some shortcut tools that we can use. So pgrep and pkill.